So in my last talk, I spoke about the changes which are impacting our industry and what it means for engineers in a post-AI world. Today, I want to focus a little bit about how we can use these tools, what are use cases, how can you use it, and what works and what doesn't. So let's have a look as a software engineer how the AI can help us. There are a lot of blogs, YouTube videos, and LinkedIn posts. We all know it, we all have read it, but let's have a quick view where I think the AI can help. First, create table structures using the DB diagram IO format. You can use the AI to help you create your SQL scripts, to define your tables, and actually support you there. Easy one, quick win, use it. Second, designing and using and utilizing REST APIs. If you think about it, the ChatGPT API is using human language to describe what you want, and then GPT actually creates the API. So having said that, for sure the API is really, really good consuming APIs, creating all the necessary interface classes, code around it, and helping you, or even writing the API following your description in human language. So that's quite good and it works. Ask for recommendations or suggestions. I mean, on the topic of REST API, why post instead of put, or which HTTP method you want to know, how you want to use. If you're unsure, the AI can help you there, can advise you. You actually can learn something. And don't forget always, if the AI tells you to do something, you should always ask why and understand and deepen your understanding about the topic. Fourth, make the code cleaner and make the code simpler. Let's say you have written a piece of code which works, but you want to make it nice and in a proper format and easily readable. The AI can help you with that. But again, remember what I said in my first video, you must review the code. I will repeat that throughout this video many, many times, because this is actually the core message. Use the AI, but review and don't believe just simply what you get out of that. Fifth, a very interesting use case not many people are thinking about is providing relevant variable names. As a software engineer, I've written my amount of code, and I've always struggled also to make really meaningful variable names. Now, using the AI, it can help us and rewrite our code, and you just tell them, make the variable names meaningful in a way that the code is easier to read. Good and easy. Now, 6, generating code. Everybody talks about it. We don't need to be any more software engineer. The AI writes code for us. Isn't it awesome? No, it is not. The AI makes really, really dumb mistakes, but it can definitely help you to write code. Small sections of code, and you must review it. There are very, very dumb ways the AI can make mistakes. For example, I'll give you an example. ChatGPT doesn't know the latest version of Symfony. So it creates actually, if you use Symfony and PHP, code which is not usable nowadays because it's based on old data. And as our industry is very fast moving, that goes as well for many other languages too. So you must actually check the output, make sure that what the AI generated works. But yes, it's helpful and it makes our life much easier. 7, explaining code in natural language. I'm not sure if you thought about it. I'm pretty sure in your career as a software engineer, you often had to debug code which was not from you, or you need to understand what your colleagues or someone years ago did there. It's often kind of difficult. And the AI actually can really explain you in natural language what this code is doing, and actually in your language. So for example, we tested it in Vietnamese and it works quite well. I don't know why, but ChatGPT speaks decent Vietnamese and can explain you in Vietnamese how your code looks like. The same goes for Thai, Arabic, English for sure, German, and whatever other language. And this is really helpful because it helps us as an engineer to understand better how the code is working and what is supposed to happen, and makes our life easier. So use it. And last but not least, best practice and design patterns. Now the interesting part, as a software engineer, you should know clean code, solid, KISS, whatever. You should know design patterns. Having said that, unfortunately, I have worked over the last 35 years with a lot of engineers. And I must say, not everybody knows the basic of our work. So the AI can help you. The AI can actually rewrite your code, implement such principles, and explain to you why this is a good thing. And while you're using the AI, it also helps you to learn and make you understand better why using design patterns are good and why this specific design pattern in that specific case. So that's actually quite helpful. And it not only helps you creating code, but it also makes you a better software developer because you understand and learn from the AI. Having said that, again, you only can learn and understand if you know what you're doing, and also ask the AI clarifying question, ask the AI why this, why that, and so on. Oh, and I nearly forgot, algorithm design and optimization. I mean, that's a no-brainer that an AI can help you there. As a software engineer who works in the internet area, we don't have many algorithms. But for sure, there are industries like gaming or embedded system where you have to deal with optimization of code, where every single microsecond counts, and the AI can help you there. Okay, that was all about coding. How about testing? Do you write all your code probably test-driven, or at least with a high amount of unit test coverage? Unfortunately, not all of us do that. So and then years later, when you have to refactor that code, this is really difficult because if you don't have automated tests and you want to change the code, you don't know if you broke something. And this is one of the very strong use cases where the AI can help. It can write tests for your old code and help you to create the tests much quicker. Having said that, again, it's not magic. Yeah, so it writes tests, but not all tests are good. Not all tests are there, which should be there. So you still need to control, you still need to manual add tests, and you still need to know what you're doing. But it's helpful. So this is really, really a good use case. So far on coding, I'm pretty sure there are many, many other things. One easy win I could mention also would be data visualization, visualization and analysis. That's also clear if you have a lot of data and you want to find patterns and you want to visualize it a little bit. That's where the AI can help. So let's go one step further, and then we are done with all the engineering topics for now. So have you thought about test data? Very interesting topic. So as an engineer, you always need to proper test data. And so what do? We copy our data from a live environment until our staging, development, or local. And that's in many, many cases a violation of privacy laws like GDPR and others. And so it's not good, but it happens all the time. And there are actually tools like Mostly AI or Tonic AI. Unfortunately, they're not free. Probably there are some free tools around, which I didn't find on my quick search. But there are tools to create test data, and that makes your life much easier because you don't need to violate any privacy and you have proper test data. Have you thought about using the AI to clarify your business requirements? I didn't, honestly. But actually, it's a really good idea. So what I found is that one of my teams, they worked actually on a software resource management for workers. And because our client is in Germany, they had to understand the German labor law. And they actually used GPT to explain them the constraints about German labor law so that they could properly put it into the software. If you wouldn't have had the AI, they would need to ask a German labor lawyer to explain. So that's extremely helpful. So as a use case, great. Another area where the AI can help you is kind of like general problem solving and suggestions to guide your technical design of your software. So going back to that example, so we have resources and we want to divide these resources in an absolute optimal way on all our available slots. So what our team did, they were thinking about algorithm, how you can do that. And you actually can do that in various ways. And the team identified 4 different ways. And then we asked GPT, and GPT actually came up with an idea when nobody thought about it. So a 5th way. And in the end, the team decided to follow the GPT suggestion, which is really interesting. So the AI helps us to actually understand the problem and then make the technical design an optimal way. Super helpful. Another topic would be using the AI to explain complex matters in simple words. A financial statement, a scientific article, a legal article. There are so many use cases where it's really difficult to understand, and we can use the AI to make us understand what it's about, summarize it. However, let me repeat, don't believe everything. The AI will omit things or emphasize other things. So you still need to understand what this is about, but it's still helpful. For example, I'm German. I couldn't read a US financial statement or tax declaration or whatever. The AI can help me understanding it if I need that for my daily work. Now, let's have a couple of interesting examples I found over the last weeks in LinkedIn and other areas. Creating a website. It is, as of today, spring 2023. I'm pretty sure that in the future, someone will look at this video and they're like, what is this dude talking about? I mean, for sure, websites are automatically created. But as of today, it's still a lot of manual work. But in a way, you can use the AI to create a website. So grab a template with Figma, populate the template with ChatGPT, get textures and visuals with Midjourney, and then upload it to Webflow. And voila, you have your website. And it works. Not perfect, but this is our future. Tim Herbig on LinkedIn wrote a very, very nice article about using the AI to create OKRs for your team or your company. Super, super interesting. I will actually put a link to this article in the comment section. So look it up. It's really interesting. So in short, it's not that easy to write really good prompts, but if you write really good prompts, actually GPT can help you to guide or create at least a rough foundation framework for your OKRs. And that's much, much better than starting from scratch. I found it really interesting because a lot of people struggle with finding the right OKRs which motivate the team to go in the right direction. And last but not least, for sure, I mean, we all have seen all these interesting fake pictures going around, or use the AI to make us look more handsome or like a knight or vampire. But actually, you can use the AI to create real pictures. And there's another article I found in LinkedIn from Ruben Hassid, who made a great example using Midjourney to create real life-like pictures, which you could use for your online shop or your website. And the interesting thing, what I understood there, is that I'm not a photographer. So I don't really understand how to use a camera. And that means also I struggle to write a good prompt. So if you check in the LinkedIn post, which I again will put into the description, you will see that Ruben was very, very, very specific in his prompt engineering to get the results. I couldn't do that. And that again reminds us all that it's difficult to use the AI if we are not knowing what we're doing. We must understand what we're doing, and then we can double check the results and also create meaningful prompts. All right, so we have spoken about all the amazing things the AI can do. Actually, not all, just a tiny, tiny little preview of use cases I've identified on a quick note. So far, so good. So what? Unfortunately, you can't believe anything the AI is telling you. Over the last couple of weeks, I saw really mind-blowing examples of the AI doing really crazy things. For example, the AI invented books of real authors they never wrote and then quoted from these imaginary books. This is really difficult. If you don't Google, you know the author and you don't really double check that that book exists. Really difficult. I had friends of mine, quite famous, who actually asked the AI to create a resume for them. And they made them really good resumes and look really good. Unfortunately, the AI also invented stuff which were not true. Like they made one of my friends to the inventor of XML, which is just a blatant lie. And also the AI invented links which didn't exist. I don't know how it come up with it. So the interesting thing is, like, if you ask the AI, it will provide you with an answer, even if it doesn't know what it's talking about. So it's really important. Remember, you need to check and understand what's going on. So if you want to have a good laugh, I have a funny story for you. So I actually asked GPT-4 to write a resume about me. So you might not know that, but my last name is very unique. So if you Google me, it's just me, my brother, my sisters. It's kind of a unique key in the internet. And there's some material online, so I thought maybe GPT knows something about it. So GPT wrote a really nice looking resume, which a few things which looked okay-ish, but then actually a lot of crazy things. So actually it gave me a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science of the University of Innovation, and apparently I graduated with a 3.7 GPA. I didn't even study computer science. I actually studied mechanical engineering. According to GPT, I'm also an Oracle certified professional, Java developer, and AWS certified developer associate. I'm not. And finally, GPT said that my interests are running and hiking. If you know me, I don't run and I don't hike for health reasons and maybe because I'm lazy. So I actually like to drive motorcycle, I read, I code for fun, but no running. Absolutely not. So think about it. If my personal resume is so wrong, can we believe anything? No, we cannot. Now, going back onto the resume. So after I had this resume, I asked GPT, what do you know about Lars Jankowski? And GPT literally said, I know nothing, because apparently I'm not famous enough. So it made up my resume, which is kind of funny because GPT only said that after I asked a clarifying question. On the first glance, my resume looked good. We can't believe the output. You must check. You must be, instead of writing code, instead of creating work, we need to review and understand what's going on. And for that, for sure, we need to know what's happening there. So the AI is a super, super good tool. But as of today, early 2023, you can't believe the output. You must control, fact check, and review everything. If you don't do that, you're going to be in trouble. Mark my words. So please do it. Use the AI. It's a super helpful tool, but just don't copy paste and say like, GPT told me it's okay. It's not. Thank you and have a great day.